Hey guys, welcome back to PKG. I am joined by Dan today, and this is a new series we're going to start with sports. I think we've always wanted to talk about sports. Well, I've always wanted to talk about sports. Getting Dan involved and Evan involved was not hard, but
Oh, not hard at all. As soon as you
so
said sports, I dived in there. So
I think this is going to be a Sunday thing for us. I know it's Piece of Cake Gaming, not Piece of Cake Sports. I know, but we're only at like 73 subs. I don't want to have two different channels at this point. That seems pointless. So let's just throw some sports content out there and see if you guys like it, get a bigger demographic, and see where we can go from there. We're going to talk about all sports today. We're going to try and make it more specific in the future, but we just thought first episode, why not throw all the sports in there? And we're going to start with hockey. So,
oh yes, the good sport,
the
as you
good,
can tell. As you can
yeah,
tell.
we're from Canada, so hockey is the good sport to us. We're going to start with the game that just ended about 20 minutes ago, or 40 minutes ago ish. And that's the Edmonton Oilers defeating the Toronto Maple Leafs 3-1. Austin Matthews had a goal that was really bad.
It was a garbage goal for a top line sniper. So
Frederik Andersen played well. He just had a couple of bad bumps or bounces. Sorry.
he's still not Freddie, like normal Freddie, but he's it's gonna be a tough challenge for him because Jack Campbell behind him is really impressing a lot of people, including myself, who is a diehard Leafs fan. I could show you my whole house; it's covered in Leafs. So, but he needs to step it up a bit. I'm just saying, if they want any chance of keeping this playoff spot, it's going to be lying on him. So,
and today was definitely, I think it's been, today was definitely a shaky game for their top six. Like Marner got some good shots off. Matthews had 6 hits, which I was surprised about. I like the fact that he's being more aggressive with hits and being more out there. I think the fact that he can actually be physical and like unlike fucking Johnny Gaudreau, goddamn, dude's not hitting anything.
no, he's hitting the back glass with his shots. Actually, that's what he's doing. But
Yeah, I mean everybody is. That one power play where it was like cross crease and he freaking biffed it.
oh yeah, but then you can't take away his cross crease with the goal
Yeah.
to Lindholm. So it's hard to. He's a passer. We can't get on him for a shot. We can't get on him.
I don't know, man. Calgary's power play is looking really good though. It's looking solid.
It's the only way they can score goals. I'm just saying.
It's because they're first. It's because they actually have like the real first line out.
Well, I think they have started with their real first line because I think Dominic Simone coming in from Pittsburgh, not a lot of people were on him and said, oh, okay, just some random guy. Well, he did play with Sidney Crosby last year.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just hide that talent. That he's going to take it over. So I think once he finally gets a rhythm with them, I think that's when you're going to see a lot more points because he deserves to be on that first line. So,
not to mention he's only 25. So the fact that he's coming in at a young age, trying to prove something means a lot. And I think he's going to show a lot for this team, especially on that first line with whatever the hell they throw it. Right now it's Lindholm, Kachuk, and Dubé, but we'll see what ends up being in the future. I want to see more from Tanev on the offensive side. I know he's not an offensive defenseman by any means, but at least do something on the offensive side.
I think he's actually playing really well
He is,
to start.
Yeah. On the defensive side,
so,
he is, yeah.
And if anybody you want to see some offensive side from, it's Valimaki, because I unfortunately have not seen much from him so far. I know it's still early, but for being this hype prospect, I have not seen much from him. So
Markstrom's been unreal. The way Markstrom's playing, Riddick's not even going to touch the net.
even if Riddick does, he shouldn't, because Louis Domingue's there, and I think Louis Domingue's a better goalie. I know people are going to hate me from Calgary for saying that, but no, he is. Go look what he did in Tampa. Destroyed it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he had a shaky start to his career, but he's definitely been better the last couple of years.
He's a bona fide backup goalie. and that's what every team needs.
Anyway, we were talking about the Leafs, and we should probably go back to the Leafs.
Oof. Touchy
Yeah.
subject right now.
Man, I don't know. I like their top six, but like for how much money they're spending on it, they're not scoring enough goals. They're not.
Yeah,
And they need to be.
I know that was my big issue when they lost in the playoffs last year. Was I don't know how many countless times I swore and said, "Why are we paying $40 million to people who can't score?" I'm
Oh, you froze. Damn. All right. Yeah, Corpusalo kind of lit you guys up a little bit. I guess lit the Leafs up the last couple of years. Yeah, you froze. I didn't hear anything you said, so I had to just talk.
oh, my internet connection. Hey fans, this is why you get good internet here, Gabe.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
looks like you are doing some editing. No, I'm just kidding.
I ain't touching that edit button. For those who don't know, and this is probably the first video you're gonna see, they'll be posting any videos for the last couple of days. My editing has been fucked. So basically, Premiere Pro is not letting me export any videos, so I have not been able to get any videos out. And hopefully, I can get that fixed tomorrow. But if I can't, this is the video you'll see. If it is right, then you saw a video on Friday.
That's true.
But yeah, Corpusalo killed you guys in the playoffs last year.
And now he's done nothing. So it's just great, you know. And random kid shows up and decides just to ruin and crush dreams. So still not over it.
Speaking of the Blue Jackets, Seth Jones has been absolutely atrocious this year.
I know, and I picked him in all three of my fantasy teams, and I'm crying.
He's oh my god. He's so bad this year. I mean, he's obviously going to pick it up. He's never been a good starter, like start of the year type of person, but like, ugh.
And to talk about the Leafs, I just got an update that Joe Thornton will likely miss some time after suffering injury in the third period this game.
See, I'm not going to lie. Joe Thornton should not be on that top line. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Hyman should be playing on that top line. But
and they threw him in there and they scored. And they looked more alive with Hyman in that line.
I don't know what to tell you. My team is all over the place, but my top six, anybody would trade for them. So
we're going to transition from the Leafs to their division. So who do you think is going to win each division? We'll start in the North Division since we've already talked about it a little bit.
I gotta go with Calgary. I think Calgary will take the North Division by not a lot of a margin, but quite a few points, and I think they're going to be the team to beat. I really think that Vancouver is going to be your disappointment team, because I have high hopes, and I know this is from a Leafs fan, but Ottawa, I have high hopes for Ottawa, and I think they're going to shut everyone up real quick. So.
No, I have to agree with Calgary. The way they've been playing these first couple of games on both sides of the ice, their power play being unreal, the way it's been, the way that the young guys have been playing. I mean, I know they haven't got on the score sheet yet, but they eventually will. They're just they're tough. They've brought in a lot of toughness the last couple of years, and I like it. Johnny and Monty are having a bounce back. I can already tell. Lindholm and Kachuk have that chemistry that's unreal. Markstrom is playing unreal. If they can get that backup goalie to play unreal, then they're set for the year.
Yes.
Like everything's going well for the Flames right now, except for that little blip, which was that comeback with Winnipeg. But other than that, they've been unreal.
True.
And I think they're going to beat the Leafs on Sunday.
There is no complaints about the Calgary Flames and how they are playing.
Only complaint I have is Lucic on that top power play.
But you need someone like that big in the front of the net.
Oh, I was gonna say. My question is, why was Joe Thornton on the top power play for the Leafs instead of Tavares?
Because Tavares is running the second power play unit.
That's so weird to me.
It is, and I mean it's kind of working to a point, but
Well, here's the thing: Nylander played so well the first couple of games on that top power play unit, and then you just took him off it.
I mean it's because Nylander has played like Schneider's
Otherwise,
for the
yeah.
last 3 games, so
Yeah, I don't know how you guys ended up being 3-2. You have not been great these first couple of games.
well, the teams we faced have not been great. So
Okay, now it's time for Mike to forget what the other or what teams are in other divisions, so he has to look it up.
we got the West Division, and we have Vegas, Colorado, St. Louis, Minnesota, Arizona, Anaheim, San Jose, and LA.
I'm gonna go with Colorado. I think McKinnon and that offense is way too good. I think Vegas is gonna slow down eventually. I think they have the 2 best goalies in the league. I just spoiled the crap, or not the best goalie, sorry, the best goalie tandem in the league. I just spoiled the question coming up later. But I think Colorado just has it all. I think they have a solid defense. They have a solid offense. They have Nathan McKinnon on your team, which is always a plus. They got Cale Makar, who's playing unreal. They just have their top 9 is just unreal offensive talent, and you can't go wrong with that kind of production from everybody on your line, everybody on your team.
And I'm gonna completely agree with you because I have Colorado also winning their division, and I also agree with you that Vegas will slow down a lot. So the only thing that sorry guys, the only thing that I see a problem with Colorado is, can you trust Grubauer? That's the only thing.
I mean, apparently, if you can't trust Grubauer, fucking Francis is going to come in and give you a 928.
But do you really trust that?
No.
Their back end is what scares me of saying, oh, Vegas versus Colorado. It all depends on how Grubauer plays. Because yes, they can go score 5 goals a game, but if they're letting in 6, they're not going to really win a lot of games. So,
and if they're playing a hot goalie like Lehner and Fleury, like they're going to run into good goalies in this whole entire division, except for maybe like Cam Talbot and Martin Jones. Quick.
Oh, good old Talby.
I mean, yeah, because you're going to run into Binnington, who's been absolutely atrocious this year, by the way. But like, you're gonna run into Kemper, who's underrated as hell. You're gonna run into that tandem.
Yeah.
You're gonna run into John Gibson, who's another underrated goalie,
who, in my opinion, has been the best goalie in the last 3 years, but because he doesn't win no Vezina.
So yeah, it all depends if they can score a lot of goals on those teams, then it's going to show how good they are. I honestly thought they were going to get Taylor Hall this last offseason. I was like, no.
No way. There's no way they were.
Anyway, moving on to the division that Taylor Hall is in. the
East.
The Mass Mutual East. I hate that they have these names on them. Their sponsors on the names. Like the Mass Mutual East, the Scotia North.
Really?
Yeah. The Discover Central. The Honda West. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
This division, I think the Flyers are going to win it. I think Carter Hart is really solid. I think their offense is going to pick it up. I mean, I know it's been pretty bad to start the year, but I think they're going to pick it up. Giroux, I don't even think Giroux hasn't even got a point. I don't think, has he? Has Claude Giroux?
He's got a couple, not much, but he.
But yeah, like he's struggling right now. Voracek's going to pick it up eventually and get back on that top line, in my opinion. They got Farabee, who's a player who's destined to break out. I really like Felipe Myers. Like I like that whole entire team. And I love Carter Hart. And apparently Brian Elliott's going to give you a shutout. So
Okay. I mean, I'm going to have to hop in there and disagree with you.
There you go.
Because I think the Islanders are going to win the division.
Yeah, Varlamov is solid.
their defensive mindset and their play style is just it's unreal. I watched the Islanders versus Boston game the other day, and I know
Me too.
Boston
Yeah.
doesn't have Pasternak, but just the way that they controlled Boston, who is still technically a good team, they just controlled them defensively. Won a 1-0 game, but that's all you needed to do. And that's why I think they're going to end up winning this division.
Sleeper team in this division, I think, is Buffalo. Taylor Hall has been unreal to start the year. Like, he's been absolutely crazy. You know, I was gonna do it later, but I'll do it right now. Do you think he's staying in Buffalo?
Absolutely.
Like, why wouldn't you? You're playing with Jack Eichel and Olufsen, who's been really good this year too. But that team could be unreal for years if you had those two on their first line.
And I think he will once he realizes that he's going to put up points. And he might use this as, oh, I'm going to get as much points as I can, try and get the big paycheck. But the way that Buffalo's prospects are finally coming out onto their own, I think he's going to look at that and realize that, okay, this team is going to be legit in a couple of years, and that's where he's going to stay. So,
oh yeah, Curtis Lazar, 2 goals. There you go. former
yes.
cheeseburger eating Curtis Lazar.
Yeah, I said prospects here, okay,
not Curtis Lazar.
yeah, not Curtis Lazar.
No offense. I know my family, or I guess my sister knows him, but like,
That's okay.
New Jersey's low key fun to watch. I watched a couple of their games.
They're fun to watch, but I don't think they're gonna do anything.
Oh god, no, they're not gonna make the playoffs by any means, but they're fun to watch. Especially when Heischer comes back, they're gonna be fun. I love Mackenzie Blackwood.
And I mean, Jack Hughes is leading the league in points, so here you go.
I mean, he's like tied with like 12 different people, but yeah.
NHL.com has him at number 1, so
yeah, so does the score app, to be fair. Any other teams we want to talk about? Washington getting fined today. Man.
There's all you can do is shake your head. I don't think there's much to say.
Even Ovechkin.
Like, I get you want to bond with your teammates, but you knew the rules coming into this season, so just follow them. Keep everyone safe. That's how you lose hockey again. So I just shook my head as soon as I heard it. So
the Rangers are not as good as everybody thinks they are. I think that's just an easy thing to say.
Well, I think there was too much high expectation on that team, especially with Lafreniere.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's the thing. There was hype behind him.
Capo.
There was Ter Stegen, or whatever the hell you say it. I don't know.
Panarin.
I mean, Panarin's going to be Panarin. Sabinajad, obviously, after that 35-goal season or 40-goal season. I don't remember what it was.
I mean, I don't know how Adam Fox is doing, but he was supposed to have a big year also. But
he's playing decent. Tony DeAngelo is playing atrocious, apparently.
Well, that's also why he's not playing at Tampa Bay right now. So
true.
I'm just saying.
The last division, the Discover Central. I think this one's pretty obvious.
I don't know if it's pretty obvious, man. I don't know.
I think it's a runaway for Tampa. Yes, because I think the team that's going to come in second is Dallas, but they don't have Sagan and Ben Bishop.
You're gonna say Dallas.
I'm gonna say Dallas, then Carolina, then Florida, then Nashville, then Columbus, then Chicago, then Detroit.
Well, apparently on my phone, Dallas is not even a hockey team in the Central Division, so nice.
There you go. They're just out of, well, I mean, they haven't played yet, to be fair.
I don't know if Carolina gets their players back. I think Carolina takes the division.
That's fair.
I think Tampa, I know they just won the cup, but I think they are a little bit of an overhyped team.
I mean, they're definitely missing Kucherov, that's for sure.
Exactly, and that's also what I mean. Like, I guess you can't really be overhyped when you have Vasti and you have or not Svechnikov, Sergachev and Stamkos, Kuch, and Point. But what else do they got? Not really a whole lot of anything. So say Sergachev goes down, you got a. Or I guess you got Victor Hedman. I'm gonna still say they're overrated.
I don't know, Matthew Joseph. I was playing with him in NHL 21. He was a point per game for some reason, and I was like, "What is happening?"
It's probably got that line chemistry. That's why.
Probably. I don't know, man. Even on full line chemistry, Matthew Tkachuk still gets like 50 points in 82 games. It's
Well,
atrocious.
you don't know how to do a team because my boys are popping off on NHL 21. So
Fair. I do like Florida though. I think that this team is a sleeper team for sure. I don't think Bobrovsky's going to bounce back. Again, another question that I had. Do you think Bobrovsky's going to bounce back?
no, I think he's done.
I don't think he's done. I think he's going to hover around like the 905 to 910 range. I don't think he's going to go any higher than that though.
I think I think he's ruined his career going to Florida. I'm not saying anything bad about Florida because they're a decent team with Huberdeau and Barkov and all them, but it just didn't seem like a good fit for him.
That defense is not good.
And especially with them drafting Spencer Knight, it was kind of like, why? Why would you sign Bobrovsky for 10 years when you just go ahead and draft Spencer Knight, who is scouted to be the next Carey Price, whatever, but as you saw what he did in the World Juniors. So,
yeah.
But it didn't make sense to me, and I just think that I don't think the confidence there with Bob anymore. So
I totally forgot to put a timer on. Oh well. Can we talk about Bobby Ryan for a second? And why he's got 4 goals in 3 games or 4 goals in 4 games?
Because he's the GOAT. He had a rough patch there and had some off-ice issues.
It wasn't even that. Yeah, it wasn't even that he had a rough patch. It was just that he couldn't stay healthy.
Well, no, it's because he battled with alcoholism.
That too, yeah.
So that takes a lot because, we obviously don't know his predicament, but him going back like the hotel room, you don't know what he was doing. Like he could have been drinking every night before a game.
True.
And obviously, if that's your point, you're going to wake up either hungover or still drunk, and you're not going to play your best. I've been there. I played sports hungover or drunk, and it's not fun. It's a shitty time. So once he got over that, he's finally back to the Bobby Ryan that was in Anaheim and all the good places.
Yeah.
So.
All right, I'm going to talk about Chicago too because I think Chicago has been so far the worst team in hockey.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt about it.
Like their top line is their top line, but other than that, and like Kubalik, who the hell do they have?
An aging Duncan Keith.
Aging Duncan Keith, Malcolm Subban in net. Like what?
Yeah, there's a reason why Malcolm Subban's not in Vegas anymore. So,
like, I can't even tell you their bottom 6. That's how much I love. Who are? Like, I don't even know. I think like Ryan Carpenter's in it. That's about it. That's all I know.
Yeah, is Hartman still on the Blackhawks?
So, I don't think so. I think he plays in. I think he just scored for Minnesota today, actually. Yeah, he's the first goal for Minnesota, I think.
That's just how much I don't pay attention to the Blackhawks. So,
Chicago Blackhawks first line. Yeah, that's right. We're taking a small break so I can look up how much the fucking Blackhawks suck. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so they're top. Okay, this is before the season started. Oh, I guess they have like Zach Smith and Walmark. I forgot about Nylander. I swear.
But Nylander isn't really a bottom 6 anymore.
True.
So.
Doc is hurt. Man, that Doc injury.
Yes, that was brutal.
Obviously, the Taves sickness.
Something.
He's just out. But yeah, Chicago is not a very good team. All right. So now looking at all those divisions, what division do you think is the toughest division?
Oh, it has to be the North. They're the
Yeah.
most grittiest, and all the teams are basically cup or playoff teams. So it's just hard because like you go look at any other divisions, so you got like your Chicago's downclining. So there is no Chicago Blackhawks in the North because all the North teams are better. And I just think it's a tough division, and I think anybody has a chance to take it. I mean, I still think Calgary is going to run away with it, but it's hard to say.
Oh yeah, not to mention like the fact that this division makes Austin Matthews have 6 hits in a game, like 6 hits for a guy who literally last year had like 40 or 50 hits, I'm pretty sure.
So well, you go take a look at the last game with the Leafs and Winnipeg. Mm-hmm. Neil Pionk was trying to take off Mitch Marner's head on the empty net, and so Mitch didn't run away and cry. He went into Pionk's face, and they all started a scruffle. Like, you're not going to see that from any other division. I think like Patrick Kane's not going to do it.
Like, I think that this is going to be the grittiest year for hockey ever, and then they're just going to go right back to the old format, and people are going to think it's a little more boring.
Yep. I think this format is wonderful.
I personally like this format. Like, obviously, once like the pandemic's over, and you bring in Seattle, which great time for Seattle to come in during the pandemic. Which, I mean, hey, then they're going to be a good team, and we'll eventually make a video about that. But
they're going to be a great team. They're going to be better than Vegas. So
another expansion team that's probably going to get fucking Fleury.
And I'm going to assume Mark Giordano.
At this point, I hope so. At this point, I hope so. All right. Speaking of the North Division, will this finally be the year that a Canadian team wins the Stanley Cup? And if so, who?
I'm going to say yes.
Really?
Yes. And I'm not being biased because we're from there, but I believe it is Calgary's year. I think they're way too deep, and with Markstrom in the net, I just don't see how they're going to blow games. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. The last couple of years, they've had shaky goalies that, like, if you're up 5-2, you don't think the lead is safe because you have Riddick who's allowing goals off his pad or, like, off his blocker or from center ice. Can't believe that happened.
Or you had a good team, but you had Jonas Hiller as your goalie. So,
man, I remember when Jonas Hiller first came to Calgary, I was, like, low-key excited. And then he just played so
was bad. I was hyped. And then yeah, it was just absolutely horrendous.
And then Kari Ramo, of all guys, took his starting job.
Good old Kari Ramo. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me. Like, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Calgary, I think. If anybody, like, they're the best Canadian team right now, I believe. Other than Montreal. Montreal is also a pretty solid team.
I would put the Leafs over Montreal, though.
Talent-wise, yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
Goalie-wise?
So. Depends on what Anderson you get. So,
yeah. No, I'm gonna say no. I don't think Calgary's gonna win it this year. I think it'll be a next couple of years type of thing.
Okay.
But I obviously won't spoil mine because we're gonna talk about that a little bit later. But
okay.
With that being said, with the Calgary Flames as well, they obviously have David Riddick and Jacob Markstrom. Which, by the way, they should have brought in Fleury a couple years ago. Anyway.
A couple years ago, yes.
Speaking of goalie tandems, who do you think is the best goalie tandem in the league?
Oh, Vegas, hands down.
Yeah,
hands down.
Vegas has the best.
No, there's no other team like that could even compare to that. Those are two starting caliber goalies that any team would want. And so.
I like Dallas, but like, can you really trust Hudobin?
Can you trust Ben Bishop
to be not injured? Yeah,
like that's what I mean. Like that was my issue with not saying Toronto because like I can trust Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell is a starting goalie. can I trust Freddie Anderson to be the Freddie Anderson? No. That's why I gotta say Vegas.
What other tandems? I think Sorokin and Varlamov might shoot up there a little bit if Sorokin decides he actually wants to play hockey.
Yeah, that's true. I can see that being good. I still think Vegas is well in the lead of that category. So
unfortunately, they're gonna lose Fleury
one
at
of
some
them.
point. I wouldn't even say one of them. I think they're definitely keeping Laner. They'd be stupid not to.
True.
He's younger. Honestly, I think he's better right now.
It's just so big. Just a big boy.
Yeah. Big boy who used to be on drugs.
Yeah. Fair enough. Makes a good goaltender. Ask Mika Kiprusoff.
Man, I did not even realize how perfect I could make these goddamn transitions. Speaking of Ben Bishop and Hudobin, do you think the Stars can compete without Sagan and Bishop?
I don't think they can compete with Sagan and Bishop. I think they were a fluke last year, and they were one-hit wonders, and they shouldn't even really have been in that position anyways.
Shouldn't have even beat Calgary, honestly. Calgary just collapsed.
Yeah, but no, I don't. Even with them, I don't think they're a good team, and I don't think they will be a good team either. So
yeah, I don't know. I think they would. I think they're gonna be like a last place playoff team type of thing, but I don't think they're gonna make it past the first round.
I couldn't see them not even making it.
Well, here's the thing: in the division they're in, well, I guess Florida could make it over them.
Yep. Carolina.
So Carolina, Tampa, Florida. I don't trust the Predators though to make it over them. That's the thing.
But I mean, you still got Philip Forsberg, UC Saros. I still take them over Dallas. So Ryan Johansson, Roman Josi.
If Ryan Johansson wanted to be Ryan Johansson from before, that'd be great. Duchesne, by the way, he's also there.
So don't worry about Duchesne.
All right. I can't believe this. Speaking of Duchesne, who do you think is the best bounce back candidate or candidates this year?
I mean, as of right now, you got to say Bobby Ryan.
Yeah, as of like this second, Bobby
As
Ryan.
of right now, Bobby Ryan, for the whole season, predicting wise, I'm gonna have to say John Tavares. I think he had a subpar year last year, and I think he realized that, and he's also came out and said that, and he already looks 10 times better.
That is true. He does
And
look
I'm not
better.
Once again, not saying this because I'm a huge Leafs fan, but it's just I think he had a terrible year last year. So not even close to a New York Islanders John Tavares at all. And
Yeah.
I'm seeing slight glimpse of it this year. So, and we're only 5 games in. So
I'm trying to think of bounce back. Like, it's weird to think that like Malkin had a off year last year and still had like 50 points or whatever, like 70 points in 50 games. But like he looks so sluggish this year, so I can't even say him. Honestly, Matt Murray. I'm gonna say Matt Murray.
Oh, in Ottawa, yes.
I think last year was kind of a fluke for him. I think he's gonna bounce back this year and big time. I mean, that defense is not the greatest I've ever seen in my life. So
no.
They're definitely going to get peppered with shots, so that's good for him. Also, Holtby a little bit, if he can.
I think Demko's going to steal the job. I think that's just.
I don't know. He looked good for the first 2 periods against Calgary, and then he kind of just like collapsed.
Oh yeah, but he's still young, so we can let him have that.
And I know we kind of touched on it earlier, but what players are overhyped?
Well, I would say, as of right now, Alexei Lafreniere. He's a little bit overhyped coming in. Um, I would say Josh Anderson on Montreal. He had that really good first game against the Leafs, and then kind of just disappeared. I mean, I haven't heard anything. To be fair, I'm not going and looking at Montreal stats every day, but in my eyes, I haven't heard anything from him, and that's all I heard after the first day of hockey was, "Oh, look how good Josh Anderson is doing." Blah blah blah. Think he's a little overhyped. I think he can get there. He has potential to get there. Just right now, he's overhyped. So
Oh, I had somebody in my head and I forgot. Damn it. Oh, god damn it. No. I had it in my head. Saros for me is definitely overhyped. I think he's not as good as people think he is. Fuck. Oh, it's gonna piss me off now.
was it a Canadian team?
No, I don't think it was. Oh, Hudobin.
Oh yes, Hudobin. Yes,
Yeah.
very, very overhyped. Yes.
He had one good playoff. He wasn't even that great.
No, he wasn't.
I'm pretty sure he was still below a 920 for the playoffs. So he wasn't even that great, but he made some cool saves, I guess. But now everybody's like, oh, he's gonna be amazing. And obviously we haven't seen him yet, so we could be completely wrong. He could come out and be amazing, but he's also 36.
True.
Getting his first starting job. We all know once Bishop comes back to his job again.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of goalies, can Connor Hellebuck repeat as Vezina?
Yeah. No.
He's been solid so far.
I say that iffy because I think someone else is going to finally take his spot as the Vezina Trophy winner, which he, and I've spoken on this earlier, deserved it for the last 3 years. And I think John Gibson will finally win the Vezina. But I would also not be surprised if Hellebuck snuck back in there.
The thing with John Gibson, though, is that his team is so bad and his team's defense is so bad, he might get scored on in ways that are not necessarily his fault.
I mean, he has a 937 right now. It's not bad for a shitty team. And Anaheim is a shitty team.
They're bad.
They're bad.
Hellebuck's got a 936, I believe, right now. So they're pretty neck and neck at the moment. But I mean, it's obviously been 2 games in.
But with a decent defensive core. With Morrissey, Belivier, Pionk, Logan Stanley. I know he's a rookie, but he's the next Zdeno Chara. Quotes.
Appleton.
Mm-hmm. And then you look at their forwards. Yeah, you got Scheifele, Lonnie, Wheeler, Ehlers, Connor, Cobb. Anaheim has Ryan Getzlaf.
Yeah, they got Getzlaf, Hampus Lindholm, Josh Morrissey, I guess. Not Josh Morrissey, Josh Hansen.
Oh, and the GOAT Cam Fowler.
And it's hard to believe that guy's still under 30.
And yeah, he dropped off real fast.
Well, yeah, he came into the league as an 18-year-old and lit the fucking league up.
And then just whoop.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Other goalies that could win it. Obviously, Vasi is always up there.
Yep.
For potentially winning it. I mean, if the Islanders keep playing the way they're playing, and if Varlamov keeps playing the way he's playing, he could definitely be up there. He's already got 2 shutouts.
I mean, we also have to talk about Markstrom.
True, Markstrom too.
He got votes last year, and I would say he's on a better defensive team now than he was in Vancouver. So,
not to mention, he got votes last year and he missed a solid chunk of the year.
Oh yeah, a good 15 games, I believe.
I think he only played 35 games.
Yeah, so he missed a good almost 20 games.
So yeah, he's definitely up there too. Raski's always going to be up there, although he is split starting with Halak for some reason.
It's because Halak is decent. He's still decent. That's all we got to say.
Who else? I mean, obviously Leonard. But then again, he's split starting. So like
True. Yeah.
there's so many goalies out there that I see and I'm like, he could be good, but then he's never
Just never.
like Carey Price every year. I'm like, he could go back to MVP form, but then just like, okay, no.
Yeah. Well, it's Carey Price. You can never not count on Carey Price, but can you count on his team? No. So.
Oh man, I heard Colby Armstrong the other day on Sportsnet said that Montreal has the best decor in the league, which is a weird statement.
Okay.
like
Incorrect statement.
like here,
I'm gonna give that decor just to Colorado, and
yeah.
that's just strictly on Cale Makar. Like Cale Makar is gonna wipe out any one of those Montreal defensemen, and then you still got Samuel Gillard and Ryan Graves. Like
And Eric
I'm
Johnson
still taking those two players over anybody on the Montreal. Yeah.
And not to mention Bo Byram's coming up pretty soon here. And I think he's gonna be solid.
Hopefully next year or even this year. But
well, I think that's why
he might show up this year. They might.
I thought that's why they traded Ian Cole the other day, just to bring him up. But who knows? All right. So we kind of.
I don't. He might be. Is he on the taxi squad though?
I don't know. It's kind of hard when these taxi squad bullshit. It's obviously obviously a cool concept because like all these kids could get a chance when like literally whenever with COVID. Like
I just don't know if he is.
I don't know. They definitely wanted him on the team this year.
Oh, Byram. So 2 days ago, Eric Johnson and Bone Byram joined their teammates at practice. So he is on the taxi squad. So I think you might be correct on that Ian Cole trade. I think that is going to be filling up for Bone Byram. So
literally as we're talking about Cam Fowler, he scores.
hey, see the GOAT. I told you. Cam Fowler, the GOAT.
What a guy. All right. Last topic. Obviously, Dan's was spoiled by me asking him the Canada question. Stanley Cup predictions.
But you didn't ask me who Calgary's gonna beat.
Exactly. So Stanley Cup predictions.
I'll let you go first. I am curious about what you gotta say here.
Did I say a team last or before?
No, you just told me that it will not be a Canadian team.
Okay. I'm gonna go with between two teams right now. I'm going to go with Colorado over Tampa in 6. I think because I think Kucherov's going to come back for the playoffs, and he's going to beat Kucherov, and they're going to be dominant again, and then it's going to be the battle of the two offenses. And I think Colorado is just deeper, so I think Colorado is going to take it over Tampa in 6 games.
And that's your first prediction. Are you going to say your second one?
My second prediction, there's 2, eh?
I thought that's what you said.
True. Right, because they're both in like the same bracket, aren't they?
Who?
Tampa and Colorado. I don't know how the bracket works this year, honestly.
So how it is going to be is 4 teams from each division are going to make it.
Yeah.
And then those guys will battle out. So hypothetically, say Calgary, Toronto, Montreal, Edmonton make the playoffs for their division. So Calgary will face whoever's in 4th. So let's just say Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, or Toronto, Edmonton. And then whoever wins that series, so say Calgary wins that series and Toronto wins that series, then they will go against each other. And then whatever team is last standing in the divisions will go back to the reseeding round. So say Calgary is 1st in the league, Colorado is 3rd in the league,
yeah,
Tampa's 2nd, and whoever comes out of the other, say Philly. So then it would be Calgary, Philly, Colorado, Tampa.
Okay.
So once it gets to the final four, it gets reseeded by overall standings.
Okay. So
So
that
like
prediction.
hypothetically, you could have Calgary, Colorado, Calgary, Tampa, Calgary, Philly. Any of those could happen
Yeah.
depending on where so, which is funny because that comes into my prediction, and my prediction is that Calgary is going to beat Colorado in 7 games.
Man, that's gonna be the biggest revenge ever for beating us last couple years
And
ago.
even to put some more revenge in there, Calgary beats Tampa to go to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Man, beating 2 powerhouses. That's crazy. Two powerhouse
That's
teams.
how good I just don't see Markstrom not winning a cup. I'm sorry.
That's fair.
They're too good. And even if Johnny and Monty have off years like they did last year, I just Kachuk's gonna pick that up. Lindholm's gonna pick that up. Backlund's gonna pick that up. Dubé's coming onto his own. Mangiapane's been a surprise. Bennett's been your rough and tough, can still score playoff goals, but can't score in the regular season. So he's going to go bruise some bodies up in the regular season and then decide to go score 10 goals in the playoffs like he almost did last year. So that's why I don't want to be biased because I'm from here. But the team layout, they're too deep. They're way too deep.
Yeah.
And I think
understand.
Brian Burke would agree with me. Good old Berkey would agree with me.
Oh, there's literally a section right here for the playoff format. I just missed it. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they have that star. They need that star. I mean, obviously,
But you don't need that star.
True. I guess that's proven.
Because unfortunately, I'm not going to try and compare the teams together, but Dallas was that one-hit wonder. Sagan's basically Goudreau.
True. A lot better.
Jamie Benn is basically Monahan.
I'd compare him more to Chucky. And then I'd say Pavelski is Monahan.
Well, there you go. And they made it to the Cup Finals. They almost beat Tampa.
True.
And arguably, I think Monahan has more skill than Pavelski. Chucky is more younger and more.
I think he's better than
gung ho than Ben is now. Yeah, exactly.
Man, if it was,
I didn't want to throw Ben under the bus, but
if it was 6 years ago, Ben, I'd take Ben over Chucky any day. But
yeah, this Ben is
Ben's a little old, even though he's like only 31. All right, so I'm sure it's already been like an hour, so we're gonna technically, I'm probably gonna split this into 2.